I would think for indies is kind of more of a communal relationship where you're not in the big trailers perhaps, or you're just kind of eating the same craft services food together. Does that also kind of make for better films when you have that spirit of kind of togetherness? We're all, all for one, one for all.
I noticed that when we were making Bernie, we were working on a shoestring budget. There wasn't enough money for people to be sitting in their giant trailers all day. And as a result, I thought my work was a lot better because the time crunch meant that I was out there acting all day. And when you sit in the trailer for most of the day, like you do in the big budget movies, it's just time to get nervous, to start overthinking your part and thinking, I got to do it like this. This is a really important scene, actually. I have to, and you can get up in your head, and it actually can diminish the performance.
Yeah. What attracted you to the character in the sessions?
The sessions, I've got a history of playing the sort of the odd man out, and so a good guy Catholic priest. What an idea! I thought. I liked the script. It came the regular way through my agent. I liked the script. I think I knew that John Hawkes was in it and Helen Hunt. It was sort of a no-brainer as a week's work. And I have a soft spot for films that involve people with disabilities, because I did a movie a long, long time ago, and I started working with United Cerebral Palsy. Perhaps I had a predisposition to like this story a bit more.
You know, they've been trying to make it into a movie for 50 years now. Like, Coppola bought the rights in like 79 or 77 or something like that. And especially with your sort of self-imposed passion about, since these were kind of based off real-life characters, now it's about sort of fulfilling, for me, I felt there was a lot of fulfilling not only what Kerouac was trying to sort of create out of this character, but then also once you get to meet the family members and stuff like that, and you see, since the book was created on half sort of experience and half imagination, now where do you take over adding that imagination to help sort of infuse color into this character? And that's why Walter was so great within having us sort of learn everything we could about the actual people, and then throwing it all away, because since this was made with spontaneity, now let's have the freedom to fly.
It was pop like that.
And so, and so there was, and that's why improvisation was such a big thing, because he wanted to always infuse the beginning of the scene, the end of the scene, with wonderful sense of improvisation, so he could create this kind of internal rhythm that's very similar to the book and the spontaneous feel of it. So, but like that, when a director, gives you the freedom to fly, you sort of feel that you can, and you feel more present than you've ever felt in anything else.
And John, working with Ben, obviously, his first two films were so terrific, The Town and Gone Baby Gone. Did you get a sense that this is a guy who really knows what he's doing?
Well, he's so very competent, very prepared, and very brings an air of confidence to the set. But to me, it was the passion that he had for the project that thought, well, maybe I'll learn all my lines for this. No, I just...
Did you?
Interesting story.
Let me tell you.
It made me want to, do good.
Yeah.
Let's give my very best behavior.
That's what a good director does.
Makes you want to perform for them,
Show up
right?
with the fabulous Alan Arkin, too.
Yeah.
Which was...
You could tell those scenes between the two of you, there's so much experience between those. It seems so breezy and so much fun.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
He's a great, terrific. I mean, I've idolized him for years, and it was everything I wanted and more.
When the shooting's actually happening, is he very proactive? Is he hands-on, or has he sort of prepped you and then let you do your thing?
Oh no, he's in the scene with you. I mean, he's often not behind the camera. He's often like next to the lens of the camera, like saying your lines with you. Like, it's very intense. Yeah, because he plays all the parts, and he is all the different department heads, and he also really honors. He hires people who he trusts and who he wants you to soar and do your best work, but he wants to be there doing it with you. So it's very supportive and fun and intense also.
So at the end of the day, what do you think that character is yearning for? I mean, is she thinking long term, or is she just trying to get through the moments? And what's she trying to get to?
she had actually, that's what I was saying, like I had to connect a lot of dots before it made sense to me to play somebody so sort of like limitless and also seemingly sort of like, I mean, obviously transient, but also transient, like sort of able to live so many lives and not have them sort of interrupt each other. And we came to find out that she actually had really like pretty classic conventions as well. I mean, and she was the one person in that story that kind of was able to compartmentalize her life and live very fully, and she was really happy, and she had a lot of goals, and she accomplished so much in her life that it's funny that that's where she started, and it's a sliver of that story. You know, it's yeah.
Most people think of you as an actress. Have you thought of yourself long before Celeste and Jesse as a writer, and was your motivation just I want to write, or was it more I want to write a part for my, that I would enjoy playing?
Yeah, well, I have always wanted to be a writer. I'm totally intimidated by it. I have so many friends who are writers and really good, and so I never felt like I was them. And then at some point, you stop caring as much. You get older and you stop caring as much, and you just do things, and if you fail, and you fall on your face, and who cares? But I think part of it, too, was feeling like there's a real dearth of female-centric movies where girls can be imperfect, where they can go on a real journey, where they can, fall apart. And especially in comedy, you have to you play this archetype, and I think this was partially my attempt to break free for myself and the kind of characters that I play, to break free from that a little bit.
And the character starts off very much wanting to be grown up. I think she's 16 in the movie, and she's eager to be an adult in that. And then it's like a reverse journey, because as the movie progresses, she really more and more wants to be a daughter and have a family and have something cohesive in her life. Was that sort of a surprising storyline to you when you first started reading the script? How could you relate to that at all? I mean, what was it like?
Yeah, I mean, when I read the script, I related to her, and then also everyone else. I just everything was just so perfect. I loved it so much. And yeah, I think that she wants to, she's sort of at that age where she wants to be an adult, but she doesn't want the responsibilities of being an adult. She still wants to be the freedom of being a kid. And she also realizes sort of towards the end about her mother as well, that her mother, she means a lot to her, and especially, her father, and sort of the forgiveness and the hope towards the future. I think at the end, you're sort of, even though it's set in the 60s in the past, it has you thinking about the future as well. Yeah.
I always find it funny when I get criticism from people who say, he's a little over the top, or the gay character's a cliche or stereotypical, because really I wake up and I don't put anything onto Mitch. He's basically me. He's a more serious version of myself. So when I hear stereotypical, I kind of take it personally. And then I think, oh gosh, well, how am I living my life? And then it opens up all these other questions.
Well, here's what's really fun about the character is that she does terrible things, and she's very wild, and she can be very bad. And I get to do a lot of embarrassing things. I get to put myself in really compromising situations, which is really fun, and act poorly and terribly and drink a lot and make out with good-looking actors and things like that. Like, I had to do a lot of really dramatic, fun stuff.